Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Usually I give you a little synopsis about everything we're going to cover, but quite frankly, there's just so much that I can't even do that. I can't give you a synopsis. There's just so much. From Katherine's meeting in her gorgeous pink outfit to Royal 2 of Ascot to what all's been going on with our dastardly duo. Oh my goodness. All right. So just buckle up, hang on. Let's get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off this morning with a blind item that came out. You know these things are usually pretty spot on, and it's claiming that the writer/mouthpiece for Meghan Markle is finding himself increasingly shut out by her, and don't be shocked if he lashes out and throws her under the bus. Wonder who that could be. All right, you guys, it's starting. The PR push articles are coming out saying that Harry and Meghan were hurt by their treatment in the UK by the public and members of the royal family. They're reportedly furious because they were booed outside of St. Paul's Cathedral, and they're claiming they were snubbed by William and Katherine because they didn't go to their daughter's first birthday celebration. Now, we are aware that for months and months, it was on the calendar where the royals were going to go. Harry is aware of the calendar because he used to have one. So if he really wanted them to meet their children, they would have brought the children to the Trooping the Color. They were all up in that office. They could have met there. Yeah, they're just trying more victim mentality crap. So it's with that information that a press release, it's being alleged, a press release was sent out to Heat magazine, and they're quoting them as saying, "We have been left hurt by our treatment in the UK by the public and other members of the royal family during the celebration to mark the Queen's 70-year reign." So this goes along with what I said before. They have no introspective. So they trashed the family at every turn, accused them of being racist, said horrible things, demanded an apology that they didn't get, and then thought they would just bop on over to the Platinum Jubilee and everybody would be happy to see them. Yeah, no clue. They were also thwarted in their attempt to get the royal photos. Okay, so we know that they were supposed to ride with Beatrice and Eugenie, and they were supposed to go in the van with them because they're on the same tier as them now as far as royals go. But they were late, so they had to get their own car. And that, by the way, is why they got their own promenade at the church. The Queen didn't give that to them. They were late, right? And I think they also thought if they were late, they could choose their seat because there were assigned seats, and the seats were specifically assigned so that there was no chance of any photos being taken that shouldn't have been taken. Okay, so this is what happened. Harry and Meghan go walking down the aisle and they get to the seats, and Harry's like, "Well, why don't you guys just push in? Just push in, we'll sit on the end." I guarantee you the conversation was like, "You don't need to get up and come out, just move over and we'll sit on the end." But the seats were assigned, and I think Beatrice and Eugenie were like, no, they're assigned, we can't do that. And with that, you can see right here that they piled out, and Harry and Meghan piled in and went all the way to the end. And while they put on a brave face about it, I think deep down they were thinking, man, we made a point of being late. We made a point of having to have our own car. We didn't have to walk in with them. Why aren't they sliding down and cooperating? They're like ruining this for us. They're ruining our chance. But I think Beatrice and Eugenie were told to be very careful and to follow the rules, and I think they did. Well, this story is coming out that apparently Andrew Neil made some statements about Meghan Markle saying she was unremarkable and she had unattractive qualities. I happen to agree with that. And the reason he said that is he talks about the Texas school shooting and the fact that Harry and Meghan have failed to deliver on promised multimedia projects, that she's, the impact she's had on Harry's life, including what the author calls his self-exile. He addressed the fact that she flew private jet to Uvalde that she brought staff, bodyguards, camera crew, that she made sure that pictures were taken before she went home. And this was some sort of strange, sick parody of a royal visit. And the fact that she could use that as a PR stunt just didn't sit well with people. I mean, he flat out asked if she was insane. Like, seriously. I have to agree. I think what she did going down there, not one other famous person did it, except for one famous person, Matthew McConaughey, who was from that town and whose mother taught in that town. And he did not do a PR spectacle of himself. And I guarantee you all of this is going to show up in whatever Netflix is putting out. I guarantee you this is all going to show up in it. So when people said this wasn't a media thing, I guarantee you it is a media thing. And you're about to find that out when Netflix finally gets around to releasing whatever the hell it is they think they have for them. I'm telling you. All right, articles are now coming out that Kate and William sent a direct message to Prince and Harry with what they're doing with their children, because let's not forget they're moving to a house on the Queen's Windsor estate this summer, or into the castle, we're not exactly sure, and they're still keeping Kensington Palace and Amer Hall, however you say it. But the move is apparent, they're claiming, is response to what Prince Harry said about having the right people around the Queen. I don't believe that. That's not why they're moving. But I do think it sends a message because, after all, that's where Harry and Meghan wanted to move to, and they were told no. But the message to Harry and Meghan is the right people are around the Queen. William and Kate are the right people, and that's why they're around the Queen. There you go. All right, moving on. Mike Tindall, husband of Zara, who's the Queen's granddaughter, made an insulting remark aimed at Prince Harry during a conversation with a guest following the Platinum Party at Buckingham Palace on the 4th. He pointed out that they were not present for most of the Jubilee events, including the televised concert with other members of the royal family. Now, we know that the reason they didn't go was they weren't going to be able to sit in the royal box. They didn't want that associated with their brand. But I think Mr. Tindall was trying to avoid him as much as possible. And here's video proof of that. Harry came out of the church with Meghan, stopped to talk to Zara or to talk to whomever. Peter Phillips on the left wasn't talking to him either. He was just standing there smiling. Zara was kind enough to say something to them, but it was probably something stupid and superficial. So Mike starts a conversation. If you notice on the right side, he's looking everywhere but at Harry and Meghan, and then he starts a conversation, and he's blatantly ignoring them. And as Harry goes to leave, he looks towards Mike, sees that Mike is engaged in conversation, and just leaves. I think that was Michael's intention. I had never heard of this term before. It must be a UK thing. Yes, we know, as you can see, it's part of the penis or an annoying person. I mean, you could put it together and say that he called Harry an annoying penis head, but, who knows? All right, moving on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, finally, their crappy behavior, their constant attacks on the monarchy, the PR puff pieces that are coming out now about how they were spurned and, snubbed. The senior royals are now apparently having discussions about removing their titles, and it's about freaking time. Now, keep in mind that Harry said that he's free while his father and William are trapped. And it comes from the point that Harry and Meghan don't want to take part in anything. They don't want to have any part of British royal life. And so if they don't want to be a part of the family, why should this keep going? You know what I'm saying? Why they darted off without connecting much with the family. And the bigger picture is, and I completely agree with this statement, you have two people halfway around the world using the title of Duke and Duchess when clearly they don't want anything to do with royal life. It's like, enough already. Word is Harry is aware of the discussions and he wants to beat them to the punch by giving the titles up so that they can't strip them from him. Yeah, that sounds like a move he'd make. All right, it's being reported now that Katherine has had enough of Harry and Meghan after they have been unable to heal the rift. It seems clear they're saying that Katherine has no interest in playing nice with Meghan. William feels the same way, that they feel like Harry and Meghan were lucky enough to receive any type of goodwill at all after what they did to the royal family. And of course, Harry and Meghan would never back down because that would affect their fan base. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Until Harry and Meghan apologize, which is something they're never going to do, then nothing's ever going to change. It's not going to get any better. Like, it's over. You know what I mean? Now, Meghan doesn't ever want to return to the UK. She didn't want to return this time either. She only did it for Netflix. You think the royal family can't figure that out? Ugh. All right, moving on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Samantha Markle filed a lawsuit against Meghan and for all the lies she told in the Oprah interview. And there were a lot of lies. Things were proven to be lies. But she has now amended her court case. So I'm putting up the pages here. You can freeze the pages, read them as you like. But I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of this whole mess, okay? Here we go. The paperwork says that Meghan distanced herself from her family, that she was very close to her sister, even though there was a 17-year age difference, because she was the one who drove her to school, helped her with her homework, went on shopping trips with her, and had a very good relationship with her. It points out that Samantha reached out to Meghan and Meghan refused to speak to her, and that she did talk to the media, Samantha did, but she said nothing but positive things. But she did mention that Meghan had not contacted the father since he'd had the 2 heart attacks. So at that point, the press said that Samantha had bashed Meghan, and following that, the media began publishing stories with fake quotes that had nothing to do with her, and she never said anything. So Meghan starts responding to these fake quotes, never contacts Samantha to see what's going on, if any of it is true. And it's unbelievable. Okay, so then it goes on to say that Meghan knew that her sister had multiple sclerosis, which is worse when you're under stress. She points out that Finding Freedom was then published, and the book was used by Meghan to affirm the false narrative that she had a rags to riches storybook life, which was absolutely not true. She pointed out that in Finding Freedom, the Duchess Meghan gave information to Jason Knopf, and that there was an entire chapter 12 called A Problem Like Samantha, which defamed Samantha Markle and describes her ploys, quote unquote, to gain notoriety. And that's where the problem with the lawsuit comes in. It says in the book that Samantha reached out to The Sun with a story about how snagging a royal had been Meghan's lifelong ambition, and she was handsomely paid. Come to find out, that's a lie. Samantha never contacted The Sun. She was never paid for any of that stuff. Meghan claimed in the book Samantha had not been invited to her first wedding, which, come to find out, was untrue. Then she went on Oprah, and she made a lot of comments on Oprah, like the fact that Samantha only changed her name to Markle after Meghan started dating Harry so that Samantha could cash in on the newfound fame, which of course we found out later on was also untrue. Now, I had no idea that all of these claims that she made were so bad that Samantha ended up with stalkers. She had to go get a restraining order. She received all kinds of hate mail, text messages, and she works as a mental health counselor, and she basically has lost her profession over this. I don't understand why Meghan would make these statements knowing that a large portion of them could be easily debunked. Anyway, Samantha wrote that she's been exposed to hatred, ridicule, contempt by the public, that she can no longer be a mental health counselor. Just horrible things. Now, here's the thing that gets me. Harry and Meghan are always going on about make the internet a safer place, mental health, mental health, mental health. But she's crapped all over her sister, and she is aware of it, and she won't do anything to fix it. What does that show you? Hypocrisy. Yeah, and let me just tell you, everybody was like, why is she only asking for $75,000? No, that's just a base amount. She's asking for damages. She wants compensatory and punitive damages along with interest, attorney's fees, and costs. And she's asking for a jury trial, which I think she's going to get. Yeah. I'm tuning in. I hope it's televised. And also, FYI, I'm putting the link for the actual paperwork in the description box in case you want to click it and read the legal documents for yourself. All right, let's move on to Katherine. Now, it was announced that she was going to host a roundtable discussion on the importance of early childhood development, and it was going to focus on the findings that were made by her Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood Development. And I mean, this is a culmination of years of her work. I think it's fabulous. We all know how much she loves children. Children just gravitate to her. Here she is with some children at Sayers Croft Forest School and Wildlife Garden at the Paddington Recreation Ground in London back in 2018. Here she was in January of 2020 visiting the London Early Years Foundation, Stockwell Gardens Nursery and Preschool. She just oozes, love for children. And here she is with children during a cooking workshop in February of 2022. Now, we all know that these findings show that 9 out of 10, 91% agree that early years are important in shaping children's lives. So she showed up looking very elegant in a 1,400-pound Alexander McQueen jacket and necklace and earrings, and she was there to meet with, I hope I say it right, Sahid Javed to discuss new findings by her Royal Foundation. And she is in very good spirits. And of course, she looked absolutely phenomenal. I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's not a color that she could wear that doesn't look good on her. The health secretary was there, the family's minister, Will Quince, I hope I'm saying that right, representatives from early years sectors, officials from the Department for Education and the Department from Health and Social Care were all there. There was a roundtable discussion on forthcoming research, as well as findings that show that almost everybody agrees the early years are important to shaping a child's life. Now, she's been championing this cause since she joined the royal family, and she's been a driving force behind the landmark study. Just fabulous. Like I said, years and years of her work have finally culminated. Katherine stated, and I completely agree with her, and I'm quoting her, "There is more we can all do. Every member of society can play a key role, whether that is directly with a child or by investing in the adults around them, the parents, the carers, the early years, workforce, and more." And I have to say, I completely agree with her statement. I just want to add, I think it shows great accomplishment that she started this was 10 years ago. She started the royal group. They've done all the research. Now she's meeting with the officials. They're going to implement what they found. I love it. All right, now moving on. All right, let's just touch on this. It is now day 3 of Ascot. We have the Princess Royal. We have Zara and her husband. She's the kind of girl, the way I look at her, she's the kind of girl you want to go out drinking with. You know what I mean? She'd be a lot of fun to hang out with, I think. Okay, just my thought. Then, of course, we have Sophie. I love her outfit, love the necklace, but I really, really love the hat. She is so styling today. All right, let's look at the carriages. All right, in the first carriage of the procession today, we have Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, and her husband, Tim Lawrence, and also Zara. And we have Zara's husband, Mike. And they look like they're having a great time. And I love this hat. I love this woman. All right, let's move on to carriage number 2. In carriage number 2, we have Lady Sarah Chatto, who is the daughter of Princess Margaret. And she's with her husband, Daniel, and the Viscount and Viscountess Brookborough. Here's some pictures of her from, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, just so you could see what she looks like. Yeah, she looks like Margaret. All right, believe it or not, that's all I'm going to show from day 3. This video is getting just like too long, so we're going to cut it off right here, but I do have updates for you on the animals in the house. All right, guys, I have some updates for you. First of all, I saw these pictures of Finn, or I took these pictures of Finn, because just to show you how he sleeps at night. Like, he goes under the cover, comes back up, plops over into my husband's arm, and that's how he falls asleep. That's not how we end up in the middle of the night, but that's how he falls asleep, sleeping in my husband's arm. Anyway, Finn gets very jealous whenever I pay any attention to Tigger or Toodles, like he can't stand it. So I whipped out my video because Tigger came out from hiding, and I was taking a picture and a few videos, and Finn had just a meltdown. He kept trying to get my attention whenever I petted Tigger, but this time I got it on camera, so watch this. Tig, hi. Yes, Finn, don't be jealous. Hi, Tiggy. Okay, all right. Hi, Tiggy. All right, Finn. Hi, Tiggy. All right, so don't forget, for those who want to read the legal documents, the link is in the description box, okay? Don't forget to leave your comments. You know I want to hear them. You know I want to read them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you've already hit the button, double check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble. You can email me. For those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.